Hello, and welcome to the Doncast, the podcast that gives you an insight into the world of rugby in the Championship and Doncaster nights, and just in rugby in general. The point of this podcast is to give you an insight into the lives of the players who play in the Championship and show you that they are just like you and I. Here we are, episode 4 of the Doncast. I'm delighted to be joined by three quite contrasting accents actually this time. We've got Josh Williams, local Geordie boy, second row. We've got Adam Hopkinson, a local Yorkshire lad. Second row, back row. Second row. Back row. Okay, back row. And we've got Morgan Strong, who's our resident Welshman, number 8. We'll dive straight into it. So, Prem Cup over and done, unfortunately, for us. But before we get on to the fixtures that we had in the second block, did you all have a nice week off? What did you get up to? I'll start with you, Josh.
I slept because I was concussed. So I had a crap week off. Thanks, Hoppy.
Tell us how you came about your concussion.
Me and Hoppy just banged heads. So that's my week off written off. So a lot of napping, a lot of downtime.
A lot of cod.
No cod, I had headaches, you see. You can't be doing that. Cognitively weren't working. So fingers and brain weren't commuting at the same time. Headache, just fast asleep.
And have you tried that like polar cap thing?
The polar cap, yeah. Oh, I enjoyed that, to be fair.
Is it?
So if you like brain freeze, get that on your head.
You look good at it.
Yeah, special.
You have your curls poking through.
Curls poking through. I had my chin up to here. That was good. Yeah.
Hoppy, what did you get up to, mate?
Not too much. I did have my brother's stag do at the weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Go on, spill some stories then.
Where do you go first up?
We went to Leeds, started out there. And
Good
then,
night out Leeds as well.
Yeah. We'd started at like midday. Obviously, he didn't know about it. And we got all of his mates down. I think there was about like 10 of us. I'd got a Hawaiian shirt with his fiance's face printed all over it.
Class.
So when he turned up to our house, he didn't know anything about that. He had a bright white glittered sailor's hat, what said groomer across the front of it.
Strong, what did you get up to?
Obviously, with it being a week off, I managed to get back to South Wales. Good to catch up with a lot of different people. We had a bit of a college reunion, so some of the boys I went to college with, we had a Chinese on a Friday night, and then my local rugby club was playing a local derby down the field, so we managed to catch a last half of that. 2 of my best mates were playing in it, so it's always nice to go back and watch the boys play. The local club I grew up playing for, so yeah, that was pretty cool. And then Saturday, down the club all day watching the Six Nations with the boys. Good crowd down there. It's always nice to get home. We don't have that many opportunities throughout the season because of the amount of games we play and the sort of distance. So the week off gave me ample time to get back, and I had a nice couple of days back home just to refresh the batteries and start again, ready for the little mini pre-season block we got going on in a minute.
So looking on the Prem Cup that we had, we'll start with the first game, which was Newcastle, who were pretty full strength, really. I mean, they're fortunate but unfortunate in 2 ways that, like, they don't have any international players who go play in the Six Nations, so they can just carry on putting out the same squads and be full strength, as I say. But a 42-18 loss here, which was a heavy blow. Josh, we'll go to you as the local Newcastle lad.
Nah, I'm from Middlesbrough.
Oh,
yeah. 50 minutes difference.
But, you used to play for Newcastle anyway, didn't you? So, tell us your thoughts on that game.
I think Newcastle just capitalised on our mistakes. They won the scraps, which is what we spoke about in the meeting, our review meetings the week after. So it was just, if we could have capitalised on their mistakes as much as they did ours, I think it would have been a closer game. The result could have been different. We could have ended up winning. But it's just same in every Prem team you face. The scraps of the game, they're on it straight away.
It was a well fought game, but I think, like you say, it just kind of slipped out of our grasp. And as you say, when you've got that level of class from a Premiership opposition, it's always going to be a bit of an uphill battle. And then looking at the game after, it was Sale away. Fortunate to have a TNT sports slot as well, which was always nice. And even nicer to wrap it up with a win. And a disallowed try for you, Hoppy.
Yeah.
But a 2019 win nonetheless against a Premiership outfit. First time it's happened for the club. How did that feel?
I think it was spectacular. Well, to put it in perspective, my dad's not stopped rewatching the game.
Really?
Yeah, he come down every night. He's got it on whenever he's bored. I think the amount of support and praise that we got for how spectacular, like, we pushed that Prem side. Like, there was no mugs out there. I think from, the kind of like after that first try, we pushed them and kept them out, and they threw the absolute like kitchen sink at us, and we felt very comfortable in it. So by the time we knew that once we get the ball back, we could just put our game on top of them and then just put them to the sword, essentially.
No, it was a really good performance. I mean, it looked a bit bleak with them scoring quite early doors, as you say, but no, you bounced back really well, and you got quite a highlight on that game as well. You were singled out as one to watch. So
Many shout-outs.
Yeah.
That's always nice. But I say my sort of view on the game was, one thing this group you can never fault is the effort, and we'll battle till the 80, and you got some real quality and experience in the side like Toulouse and Rocco, who can come up with big plays and big moments at the right times. And Toulouse's try, lovely pass, 20-metre pass off one hand, supports back on the inside after Mal makes a little break, huge moment. Rocco comes up with a massive interception, huge moment. So it was a real team effort, but you could just see that, that little bit of experience and X factor those two boys bring to our back line. And, that puts us in a good place moving forward. But yeah, the Friday night was such a special night for us as a group, like we've already spoken about, that being the first time that this club has ever beaten a Premiership side. So to be a part of that is something that we hold in high regard, and it's pretty special.
Did you go out after the game at all, or was it a pretty tame?
I think I was the only one who went out to you two, wasn't
I went
See
into
you
Manchester.
there, I don't think.
You went
the
into
social
Manchester.
elite.
I was into Manchester.
I had plans, big plans back at home, can't bail on
Of
them.
course it was.
Big engagement party, so,
Avoiding the socials at all costs, these two.
don't worry about the
Oh,
socials,
really?
mate. Colleagues, isn't it? That's the thing, colleagues.
Yeah, you were going to blur the lines.
Can't mix social and
Can't
work.
mix it, nah.
But
But can we just address Rocco's try, by the way?
Yeah, go on.
That guy,
Oh, he didn't get out of third gear.
he's he is running on treacle. I don't know how no one caught him.
Those weighted studs aren't helping him.
So, yeah, you need to clip that up, put it on, so
Yeah.
that everyone can
We'll
see
get it on,
Rocco's
just-
slow motion run.
10 metres, he's getting caught.
yeah, anybody else that's chasing him, like, yeah, he didn't really, like you say, he didn't really seem to get out.
He
there.
was going full. That was his full.
That was full
tin.
whack.
That's him full whack. He's 42 years old. Fair play to him.
How old is he actually? 38?
Oh, I don't know.
39?
Mystery. Complete mystery.
He's told me 36, and I've heard 38.
I've heard
someone
50.
said 42 the other day. So
It's a mystery. The greys are showing now. So
his hairline's showing, and he's got his little ponytail at the back. Have you seen
we'll
that?
put
He
that
looks like
picture in as
Steven
well.
Seagal. So got
that's class. But no, yeah, credit to Rocco for that interception.
shout out Rocco.
Shout out Rocco.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
And then Coldy, 48-0, convincing victory. Second time we've nilled them this season. So, yeah,
Hell of a game.
Hell of a game.
Like the demons that are Caldy to nil him at home. Mr. Rushton. Hell of a game.
Yeah, 24-0 both halves. It was just a really good victory, and just shows what we can do when we've got ball in hand and when we've got possession, but even D as well. There was a few times that we were camped on our own line, but just resilience of D was.
I think the biggest thing we can sort of take from that week was, like, we lost Josh in the team run 2 days before. We lost Toulouse in the team run 2 days before.
Shout.
We lost Jasper in the warm-up. I've been in this league long enough to know the Caldy are a really difficult side to play against. Go into their ground is always hard. If you give them a sniff at home, they'll stay in the arm wrestle all game. So we kind of spoke about just being professional in everything we do, discipline, speed of ball, keep our standards high, and then they won't be able to live with us. So the fact we've been able to do that on 3 occasions, because we've beaten them 3 times this year.
Yeah. One more to go.
Yeah, one more to go. And it's away, which is always always a very tough place to go. I don't think I've ever played there in nice weather.
No.
I think that's the biggest testament to the group, is the fact we had a lot of adversity throughout the week, and we dealt with it well. And like I say, to nil aside and score nearly 50 points is a real plus.
Going back now to your week off. Had a week off, and then you were back in last week. But Sparky, the new S&C, he's
mad.
mental.
He reminds me of Patrick O'Houlihan from Dodgeball.
Yeah,
He's absolutely mental.
yeah. I've heard you hear him before you see him.
He's got the most infectious laugh I've ever seen from an S&C coach.
Make a
ever.
name for your son.
Hey up, bum cheeks.
But he decided to take you on a little trip up Mam Tor on Friday.
A little trip. A little trip.
How many Ks did you end up doing?
Oh, it was over 14.
14.
Well over 14 kilometres.
He'd said to me the day before that he'd lied about how much it was, and it was 15.5
Integrity.
Thick
there.
mud.
No
We
integrity.
weren't just on the path. We were in thick mud, looking at cows.
slipping
It was,
ice everywhere.
It was a special walk.
A couple of people stacked it as well, I heard.
Yeah.
It was
good-
hard,
it was
it
a
was
good-
hard
good
not
bundle,
to.
yeah.
If you didn't stack it, fair play. You had some good trainers on, because some of the footpaths we were walking on, I don't know where he'd found them.
Yeah, because didn't he say as well? He was like, "Oh, just wear trainers."
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he said trail shoes, trainers, or if you got boots, wacky boots on. And
How many people actually came in walking boots?
about
All the
four.
dog walkers.
All the dog walkers.
Josh had got his army's gear on.
Yeah, I had my marine boots on.
For a Marine, mind, he was at the back of the group. All the time.
Don't worry about me. I've proved
Slow and
myself.
steady, slow and steady.
Slow and steady. Still got to the top.
Off.
Handbrake was on. Sweets were in the pocket. Had some good chin mags at the back.
Because Taniela had dislocated his shoulder the day before, and then rocked up without a sling.
It was just me and Tanny at the back. We were chilling out. Me, Tanny, Corey, Wax, Jord. We had the Haribos on repeat. Tanny brought like a 5 litre bottle of water, which he couldn't carry. So that ended up in my bag. Yeah, it was good.
Can
We
we
were all
also?
shocked to see him step out of the car. The pain he was in the day before, to see him step out of the car at 7 o'clock, we were all, what the hell is he doing here?
Because apparently it was a bit of a. Didn't he have to be sedated at the
Oh, yeah.
hospital?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got put under to get
put
back
on.
in.
He was on the green whistle telling Tom how much he loved him.
Oh, Physio Tom, that
Physio,
is.
so, yeah.
Not Tom Foy.
Not
I'm still waiting for them Steelers tickets, by the way.
But yeah, bit more on Sparky as well. He's been getting you to do he's been doing 2K row competitions at the minute.
He's been on the old TikTok.
Has he?
And he's just hard challenges for rugby players. He's just scrolling, isn't he? Oh, we'll do that one.
I think the most impressive thing is he's doing them himself as well. He comes in giving
Oh, does
times
he?
that he's done, and you're like, you always respect him a bit more when he's doing it himself. When they're in the battle with you and you know that he's doing it, it makes it a little bit easier to know that, that you're going through it as well. But yeah, he's coming out with some real tough tests, some real mental grind, and the boys are grafting hard.
Yeah. Well, other than you, Josh, I know that you've had your little head injury, but who's kind of overperformed in these 2K rows?
Connor Davidson.
Davo,
Absolute
100%.
ridiculous
Oh my
athlete.
god.
Went to Vegas for a week, came back, absolutely smashed the row by about 30
Insane.
seconds.
So what, for everybody out there, what's like a standard time to do on like a 2K row, do you reckon?
Sub 7 is for us. If we get sub 7, you're in a good place. And Davo's coming in with, like, for the 2K row, he came in at, what was it, 6:36?
Yeah.
Smashed
Smashed it.
37.
And he
I think
smashed
it
the
was,
1K
yeah.
row this morning. He's a freak athlete.
He was the only one what got under 3 minutes. Under 3 minutes on the 1K row.
Wow.
Built different.
And
innit?
to be fair, he kind of breaks that typical prop stereotype as well, that are just like kind of walking around the pitch. But-
Sparky's ran with it because of that as well.
Has he?
He's telling all the backs who were like a bit vertically challenged that if Davo can do it, everyone can do it.
Yeah. Who kind of shocked you and didn't perform too well? Who was
Ben
a bit slow?
Chapman. Really pro at that.
Chapel.
Chapo needs to have a look at himself at a minute. He's struggling.
What did Chapo get?
Oh, I think he done a... I don't want to dob him.
Nah, dob him in it, throw him under the bus.
You've done it now.
You can't come in
He
that.
just needs to have a look at himself, I think. But I think he needs to go home, look himself in the mirror.
You need to say it to
He
the
needs to
camera.
improve his rowing time. I know he
Yeah.
says he's a rugby player, but your row's got to be there as well. And
It's all aerobic fitness at the end of the
I think
day.
he needs to...
You never know when you're going to have to row across the
Exactly.
rugby pitch. You never know. Especially at Chinner.
You'd swear-
You needed the row across that rugby pitch.
You'd
Oh
swear
my God.
Archie Smeaton was a rower mind the way he goes round the forwards.
To be fair, he went to Cambridge, so he's famous for the boat race and everything. So
Well, he's not good
There's
at
another
boat
good
racing.
athlete, Smeets. He's good at it.
he
He's a
just
freak
doesn't stop.
athlete.
Doesn't stop. Well, he's a bit of a freak in general, isn't he? Really,
I
but
didn't say it.
Big freak, doesn't switch off, doesn't have caffeine, doesn't need it. He's always on the go, always in London, telling the boys how he met up with his old boy from Cambridge. He's going to the Army Navy Club this weekend. He was like, "Are you not a member?" I was like, "No, I don't know what it is." He was like, it's probably for officers, old boy. Probably for
Sounds
officers.
like a bit of a dodgy club, that.
Yeah.
Army Navy club. The Army and Navy boys don't know about.
You and your Cambridge cult, no one wants to be with you.
As well, he's obviously incredibly bright as well.
Oh,
Going
yeah.
to
Hell
Cambridge
of a
and-
bloke.
I mean, yeah, great guy.
He's great to have
good
around.
chat, but yeah, just a bit mental. Yeah, we'll get a bit personal now, looking at your guys' past playing careers in general. We'll start with you, Strongy. Tondi Youth.
Yeah.
Spelt Tondu.
Tondu, yeah.
Tondi
You got the
Youth.
spelling wrong earlier, didn't I?
I did, yeah. You
Easily done.
Looked
that.
over my,
Easily done.
Looked over my shoulder. So it's with a U, that.
Tondu.
Tondu. Played for them for the youth. I think you were saying your sister plays for them now, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
she's in the under 10s, yeah.
No, that's nice. Full circle kind of moment. But it did definitely go full circle because you played for Bridgend at one point,
Yeah.
and your dad played for Bridgend.
Yeah.
So there you go, another full circle in the Strong household. But you joined Ospreys quite early doors in their setup. Under 16, was it?
Yeah, come through with a Bridgend district under 15s, Ospreys under 16s East, then you join up to the full under 16s, and then you sort of go on to junior academy, senior academy, and progress through the club that way.
And how was it playing for an outfit like Ospreys?
I think just being able to live and breathe rugby from like being 16 years old, like you really get to hone in on your skills, your physical development, your, like I say, just being able to spend pretty much every day. Like we were in 5 times a week, just being in as a youngster. The other boys are starting to get into jobs, they're starting to do their apprenticeships, all this sort of stuff. Whereas you were up at 5:15 in the morning to drive to Swansea. To start that grind early doors just puts you in a good place as you get older.
And this must have been quite a proud moment, being selected for the Wales under-20 squad.
Yeah, it was huge for me. I think I'd had a little bit of disappointment from Wales from an earlier age, so that when I first under 19s, the first time I got to wear the Welsh feathers was a pretty special moment, all my family there, and then moving on to under 20s to get my first real cap, because they didn't cap the under 19s, played Italy, played in all the games at Six Nations. It was a bit of a shame that my World Cup was cancelled due to COVID. As COVID hit the next day after we lost to Scotland on a Friday night, pretty much next day we were in lockdown, which was a bit of a shame because I went 18 months without playing rugby then. So any chance you get to represent your country, especially as a proud Welshman, was pretty special. So yeah, that was a real cool moment to look back on.
And you're 24 years old, so still not too late to get your senior cap.
We'll see on that one. But
and this season, obviously, joined the Knights, and you came from Ampthill. Last season, you were captain, and was it also last year you were named in the Championship Team of the Year?
Yeah, I think the first season I was Team of the Season, and then moved on to the second year where I became captain then and sort of took a more leadership role of the club. And I think coming back towards Doncaster then, I think the going from full-time to part-time gives you an appreciation for being full-time again. So coming back to Doncaster this year, where you're getting up to go to work, then you're having to go to the gym, then you're having to go and train for Ampthill till 10 o'clock in the evening or in the night, gives you a real appreciation for being back to full-time and being able to live and breathe rugby again. So that's been a pretty cool moment this year, say, being back in full-time with the boys, and you just get a different group of full-time because you spend so much time together.
No, absolutely. Well, long may it continue with your career. We'll go to you now, Josh. Now you've had quite a cool career, if I may say so, because you played England under 18s and under 20s.
Well, yeah, under 20s, I got selected. Then I broke my ankle off. And that wrote me off for the full year, so I missed it, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because there was I think just before the Six Nations, because obviously they made a big thing about the Curry brothers playing together for the first time. You played
that side, yeah.
Yeah, you played in that side, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a lot of hate from that post.
You got a lot of hate?
Yeah.
Why?
Boys were just messaging, look at you now. Yeah, cheers.
What was that, back five? Back five
It was Ezekiel, myself, both Curry brothers, and Earl.
That's a hell of a back five.
Back five, yeah.
Wow. Wow, how the mighty do fall.
Oh, Champ legend.
Oh,
innit?
that's not nice, Richie.
Jeez.
That's
Nice, bud.
I've said he was mighty.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what the chat I got. So
Yeah. Well,
all over Instagram. Text.
sorry, Josh.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Brought
Josh.
it back up.
But you did your uni at Hartbury, is that right?
Nah,
Not right.
right. Shocking.
Sorry.
I saw.
You first, Richie.
No, the thing is, I put this on
Great research.
on his profile at the start of the season. Said to Josh, I was like, "I'll just check it's all right." He goes, "Yep, perfect, but cheers."
He's not read that at all.
blue tape. Yeah, sound.
Terrible.
Hartlepool.
What are you meant to do?
I know.
I didn't go to uni. I attended Hartlepool sixth form. I can see where it got mixed up though. Hartlepool, Hartbury.
I don't know where I got that
They're
from.
two real big English rugby guys. Hartbury and Hartlepool.
Massive. Yeah.
So yeah, just did sixth form and then
Yeah, so I got selected Newcastle under 18s my last year sixth form, and then pushed on from there to senior academy. I was quite late on rugby. I didn't really start till I was 15, and then it just sort of went from 0 to 100 dead quick. And at the time, it probably wasn't the best place for me to be. I was still learning the game, and I got to Newcastle. It was a lot of learning. It sort of took the fun out of it a bit. The plan always was to leave college and join the Marines. So in my third year in Newcastle, I left, joined the Marines, and then about 3 years into the Marines, found myself back in playing professional rugby for Cornish Pirates. I was there 2 seasons, and then now I'm here.
he kind of just stole all the stuff that I had. But no, that's great. You had a couple of injuries as well at Cornish, which kind of sidelined you for a while.
Yeah, so I ruptured my pec. That was a tough one. That was a good few months. And then collarbone, elbow, and a few concussions.
Yeah, some serious damage done to you there. But going back to the Marines, how has that just always been a dream that you had to join the Marines and do that kind of thing as a profession?
Yeah, that was always the plan. It's funny because 2 of my best mates from home, they're also in the Marines as well. So we all sort of joined up one after another. They're still in. It was always something I was interested in, the military. And then I did it. I loved my time when I was there full time, but I've been in for a while now. Luckily, they've allowed me to do this on their behalf. So I go back 2 or 3 times a year to play against the French, Navy, our RAF, and then the big one at Twickenham, the Army.
And speaking of, you'll be playing against fellow teammate Semessa
Well, if
Rockwood-Goody.
he's running like he did against Sarah, I think we'll catch him.
Yeah, unfortunately, he couldn't be on the podcast today because he's somewhere in France or Skegness, one of the two, apparently. But
Skeggy. he's at Butland. He's got to see the red coat, hasn't he?
But no, you've been all over the country, really. Going from the extremes of the north in Newcastle, and then all the way down to
Penzance.
Penzance. Yeah, so you've done it all, really. But after, what are you going to carry on with the Marines once you hang up your boots?
As it stands, I'm leaving in June.
Okay.
So who knows? We'll just see what happens.
So on to you now, Adam. Local lad, as I said at the start.
Local, an hour away.
Yorkshire local.
Yeah. It's quite big.
Yeah. But anyway, you started your youth at Sandal and then also played for age development for Carnegie as well.
Yeah.
And then broke into the Yorkshire Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Played for Uni Gloucester,
Yeah.
Gloucester Counties, Southwest Counties, captain for both of those last 2. You've kind of been everywhere, really, haven't you?
Yeah, I would say my path has been probably never taking like the easy route and prolonging it as long as possible. I would say like my start was very similar to Josh. I didn't start until I was about like 14. And from there, like I was a kid with way too much energy, so I tried every single sport under the sun. So like I was out at one point doing a different sport every single night. So it was like I'd do water polo on a Monday, Tuesday I'd be out rugby league training, Wednesday I'd be doing taekwondo, Thursday would be my rugby union training, Friday I'd do taekwondo again and then play Saturday and Sunday. And it kind of got to a point when I was like 16, maybe 17, where I was like, I can't keep doing this. Like I'd be absolutely broken. So I was doing well with my rugby at that point. and decided to try kick on. But in hindsight, I'd probably say that was almost a bit too late to start taking it quite seriously.
Well, you're in a good position now, so you're not done too badly off it.
But like, I didn't get. I got rejected an offer at Yorkshire Carnegie's Academy. They said I was too small as a second row, not quick enough as a back row, and that's when they were like, "Oh, do you want to go to Leeds Beckett? We'll keep an eye on you." And I was like, "You've just rejected me. Why would I stay around?" So that's when I kind of like took the decision to move to Uni of Gloucestershire. Went there and had a fantastic first year. Played into Gloucester County and did really well. Was vice captain, then moved up into captaincy. Did well enough to get into the Southwest, and everything seemed to be just going right until COVID hit.
Yeah, it kind of seemed to interrupt quite a few people's careers. I mean, you said it was. I mean, that's really devastating, isn't it?
It was a heartbreaker because I think in our group for the World Cup we had New Zealand, which is obviously probably the most special team to play against. I think we had New Zealand, Australia, and Georgia in Italy. So
that would have been so good.
COVID was an absolute nightmare.
Did it interrupt you much, Webby?
I was in the Marines then, so the unit I was at, we were the only unit in the Marines that really stayed full time. So we had a lot of work going on. So we were just non-stop in COVID. I never really experienced lockdown. So that was it really.
Yeah.
Mine stopped. We'd just done the England county trials and literally released the list that I got through. So I'd got through to that, but then nothing actually went ahead. So
no, it's a shame. I think Bunny had a similar thing. He got into some selection squad or something, and then it just got written off. But no, it's a shame. It was a big shame. I mean, for me, it was quite fortunate because I didn't get to take A levels, but
young enough.
Yeah,
that's great.
I know, it was all right.
Predicted grades, was it?
No, they our teachers, they were like, "Oh, we're going to try and keep it as honest as possible and give you what we think you'd get."
That's shocking.
So
what did you get?
I could really have done with
I
that.
could have done that at GCSEs too.
I got given BBD, and I got told all year, "Oh, you'll easily get a C. You'll easily get a C." And then I did in my mocks. I got 2 A stars, 2 A's, and in one subject, and she turned around at the end and went, "Yeah, here's a D." I was like, "Oh, class."
Cheers.
That was my So then went through clearing, got into Cardiff. It was
Cardiff Met.
Uni of, and they've now actually cut my course.
Oh,
a couple of cuts. That's quite a ruse going on over that all. But anyway, randomly as well, Hoppy, you got. I don't know how random it was, but you've got a cap for Leicester.
Yeah, it's extremely random. Like, even to this point, I wouldn't be able to tell you the fine details, what went in behind it. I can tell you what happened. So
please elaborate.
So we'd got a week off, similar to this week. Trained hard all week. Friday night, I was heading to Nottingham with a group of mates and my girlfriend, having a night out. Girlfriend's driving, and literally as we're pulling into my mate's house, I get a text from 40, and obviously it pops up half of it, and it was like, "Oh mate, you won't be in the team to play against Bedford next week." Obviously I saw that and I was like, "I'm absolutely gutted here. I've been training hard all week and stuff like that." Read the second part and it was like, "There's an opportunity for you to play at Leicester Tigers, but I'm not sure how much this can come through." And I was sat on this text for 30 to 40 minutes and ended up getting called a wimp by everyone in that group to just open it and respond back. Responded at this point, I'd had some liquid courage, and was like, "Oh, what an opportunity. How the hell has this come about?" And he was kind of like, "Oh, don't really know. I'll speak to you on Monday." And at this point, I didn't really kind of want to go around boasting about it because I hadn't really been told much about it or if it was actually going to go through at this point. And it felt like 40 was avoiding me at all costs. So I saw him in the morning, kind of said hello to him, good morning, and he just kind of blanked me and just walked off. And I was like, "What is going on here?" And it kind of happened a couple more times, and then he got to the afternoon just before the session, pulls me aside and was like, "Oh, they've just rung me up. They want you there tomorrow morning. Do you reckon you can be there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be there." And then, all week they were we don't know if you'll play, or you might be a TR, that's kind of it. And I was like, oh, it's a great opportunity anyway. And then team gets announced on the Wednesday. Somehow some of the Donny lot had found out beforehand as well. They text me the day before.
Well, we're wishing you congratulations.
Yeah, saying you got a Prem gig and all sorts. So I was like, no, it's just one off.
Yeah.
And then, was announced on the bench, came on for 30 minutes and played 8 in the wet rain, and we got a big win at Welford Road.
It's not really related at all, really, but I've asked everybody that's been on so far who's been like one of the best players that they've played with. So yours must have been while you were at Leicester, was it? Do you reckon?
No, I'd say mine would be Sam Graham. So I trained with the first team quite a lot when I was in the academy here. And yeah, Sam Graham, who's now playing for Northampton, he says he was a defensive player, but the amount of times he was ripping through holes every single session and throwing 30-metre passes off both hands was insane.
Josh?
Sam Matavesi,
Good choice.
hell of a player.
Yeah. What about his game did you...
Uh,
or why for you is he the best player you played with?
He's a good hooker, isn't he? You know, his darts are always on point. Like when we go back to the Navy, obviously he's coming in from Leon this year, so it's good that we have a player of playing that high standard. He's represented Fiji in numerous World Cups and international fixtures, and he's a strong, reliable player. He's a bit of a game changer for the Navy. He brings his knowledge in, so coaching side of things is great input to the team.
Best player you played with?
Being a back rower, I think probably a bit biased here, but there's two. Obviously, Jack Morgan, played Wales 20s of him. Was at the Ospreys of him for a short period as well. So he'd probably be up there. And then one of the boys who was in the college river was making waves in the URC at the minute, Harry Deeves, another open side. Just an absolute nuisance. I've never seen a back rower have so many big impacts in the game. You know, you look at him and you probably wouldn't think it, but he's got the heart of a lion, and fair play to him. He's ripping up the URC at the minute, and long may it continue.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Interrupt this episode of the Doncast, but I've got an opportunity to share with you for sponsorship. The Doncast are looking for a sponsor, and in doing so, will give you the benefits of having your logo in the top corner of each video from here on out, and also a 30-second time window to share and advertise your business. So if this is something that interests you, then please contact the details below, and we'll be in touch with you very soon. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the episode. Let's look ahead at the games that we've got coming up for the Knights. Obviously, we've still got a couple of weeks off as people finish off the Prem Cup. But we've got 22nd of March, playing Ealing here. It's also our Farmers' Day.
Farmers Day.
Farmers' Day. So that's basically...
Shuffles all around, is it?
It'll be shuffles and tweed galore here. You must have them tucked away.
I will not be seen dead in one of them. I caught you Driffield, and that is the standard attire. Oh, no.
I can't imagine you
that could
in a
be you
tweed.
in September.
I probably wouldn't go down that route now.
No.
Blue jeans, brown boots,
Trying to think
shuffle.
of anyone in the team who would be. Any names?
Eh?
Smithy's all... I've seen...
Smithy's fashion sense is horrendous. That boy comes in.
I've never not
leather
seen...
gloves, and he's driving his Peugeot with leather gloves. What is going on there? Honestly,
He's recently purchased a barber as well, which he never seems to not wear.
Barber. He's got his tweed. What is it? His tweed wash bag.
He's got a tweed wash bag.
Oh, honestly, that guy.
This day sounds nailed on for him.
Yeah,
I think this could be a special day for him.
Who else? Who else would be quite? Jasper's a farmer, so it would be.
Yeah, well,
Bunny?
You don't really imagine seeing Jasper in all that.
I reckon
I don't think Jasper would rock around in a shuffle like.
I reckon I could see Bunny a bit.
Bunny, he likes the American farmer style, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like Carhartt, Yellowstone down.
Yeah. No, I could see Jasper like kind of wearing, I don't know, like just like his normal shorts, just normal kit, and then just like a green shuffle over the top, just with everything.
We can't be. Shuffle should be banned.
Why are you a shuffle?
Straight up banned. There's nothing worse when you see. Yeah, I love James Martin. Absolutely love him at base. But when that guy has his shuffle on Saturday Kitchen or whatever he's on now.
Yeah.
I'm like, mate, take it off.
It's oddly specific.
Get it off.
I didn't know you were such a
He loves
James
the
Martin
He
fan.
loves the cooking
Oh,
shows.
yeah.
What's the other one you like?
Rick Stein.
Rick Stein.
Rick Stein. Shout out.
You a big chef then?
Oh, I just love it. It's a comfort show, that is. Get in.
Are you good at it?
I'm a great cook, but get in from training, you know. Put a bit of crap telly on, or Xbox, normally crap telly. And then, 5 o'clock comes on, Hairy Bikers is on Dave, and straight after that, Rick Stein in Cornwall or Rick Stein in France.
So who does most of the cooking at home, you or your missus?
Me.
You do it?
Yeah.
What's your specialty?
It's a great question. Anything. I'll make anything. Yeah.
Wow. You're bigging yourself up quite a lot here,
Oh,
Josh.
don't worry about it.
Got to back it now.
I've got the best knife skills in the Northeast.
Other than the hairy bikers, of course.
Yeah,
Or Rocco.
Yeah. Rocco, that guy.
Who does most of the cooking at your house?
We've got a nice system going at the minute.
Oh, yeah.
Green
God.
beans, no.
I cook.
Yeah.
She cleans. So that's the deal.
Oh,
So,
what?
so that's a nice
What do
deal.
you mean,
That is.
oh,
It's a nice
what?
playoff. She's working all day. I cook
Shocking.
her food for when she comes in, and then she does the dishes. And so I think that's fair. Dishwater's hanging, isn't it? Don't want to be in the dishwater touching all that. So I'll cook the food and then I leave a massive pile of dishes for her to clean up.
Clean up.
Fair play to her, she does
Gotta
it
help
every
out.
day.
Dishwasher.
She doesn't help me cook, so I don't help her clean it.
Wow.
That is such a fair play.
I think
She works a full-time job. She has food made for her every evening. Absolutely brilliant.
Do you clean the house as well before she gets in?
That's a joint. That's more of a joint venture. I'm on the bin duty, the most important duty.
Blue
for a
roll.
meal.
That's
blue
such-
roll.
that's such a
what
blue
my
job.
missus says, blue roll for the bins.
big
Bin
blue job.
duty. She might argue otherwise, but the majority of the time, it is me. I'm on the bins. It's a horrible job. I got 3 flights of stairs up and down, so it's got to find yourself a good time to do it.
No, absolutely. How about you? I know you don't live with your missus, but
Yeah, so I
is she a
live
better
at home.
cook?
She's a better baker. She's been really into baking at the minute, specifically like tiered cakes and a couple of smeared cakes. I think last night it was her younger brother's 18th, and she'd made a dark chocolate gâteau with Oreos on top as like a melt as well.
That just sounds like diabetes in a slice.
It pretty much has been every time I've
It's a
gone
bit of a
round there.
trade-off when they're good bakers because
Yeah.
the food's lovely, but your body fat also goes up high. So
Mad.
you've got to try and play it right. Like, maybe
Madly.
post-game on a Saturday.
Yeah. Well,
They're
Alice,
there all throughout the week. Oh, they're lush.
Physio Alice, she's notorious for her baking, isn't she?
Yes.
Like,
Outstanding.
she makes it look
Outstanding.
amazing as well. Like there was a couple of weeks ago, she brought in some buns, and they just like with the I think it had like strawberries and stuff like the
Red
chocolate
velvet
one.
one's
Yeah.
what she brought in, yeah.
They looked awesome. They tasted great, obviously as well. But what's like your favourite bit that she's brought in before? I hear her lemon drizzle is quite good.
I can't remember. I've only really had one. It was something peanutty.
I gave a suggestion one day for Jammy Dodger Blondies, and she more than delivered.
Oh, did she?
They were outstanding. They called morale boosters, and on our Thursday when you come in after the session and coffee and a cake,
See,
goes down
I'm with
Goes
Josh.
down well.
I'm with Josh on this. I don't really have too many. I've only
You know,
had the red
not,
velvet.
Not got much of a sweet tooth.
I have a big sweet tooth, but
yeah,
I always forget that they're in there, to be honest.
trying to transition into back row.
Are you closer to the
Physio room.
physio room?
I wouldn't say so, but I managed to stay injury-free so far this season, so I haven't been in there too often.
We had a changing room bake, didn't we?
Didn't last very long, did it?
Lasted, how many lads?
Jordan all of us
Jordan
stitched
let
us
us
up.
down.
I think was it 9 of us in that changing room.
Yeah.
All 9 done it, other than Jordan. And then that was it then. Jordan wouldn't bake and it just died to death and
That was
we
it.
haven't done it since.
He is quite stubborn, isn't he?
Jordan, he's like a bulldog.
We had the same last season. In my changing room, we had a tray bake, and it was Thede. Thede could not get it right. He missed it so many weeks, and then he'd forgotten it for the 3rd week on a bounce, and he was just like, "Right, lads, I'm just going to go to Greg's. What do you want?"
Just got a tray back from Greg's.
No, he just got sausage rolls from Greg's.
Drew's done that, didn't he? I'm sure Drew's went to Lidl's, didn't he?
Yeah,
Drew's was in brownies
Drew
and they were.
Drew went to
But
Lidl.
to make it look like he hadn't bought them from Lidl's, he cut the
that's
corners
bad.
off, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
so they
that's
didn't
bad.
look quite like Lidl, so that he could say that.
That's really
I'm
bad.
pretty
guy-
sure that was
I
Drew's,
don't know.
wasn't it?
I think that's
Yeah,
quite
one of
clever,
them.
actually.
No.
Like, if
No,
he's-
that's
Snake-
bad.
Not when we
That's
were all
real
going
bad.
through the effort.
yeah,
Putting all- yeah,
okay.
okay.
This is in
I got a
pre-season as
bacon
well,
and
so
I'm-
we're running on fumes, looking forward for this bake, and he rocks up with little on. Weren't even from the bakery, I don't think. I think they were just from the.
You
standard
cut the ends
box.
off, and you to make them look like they were his.
I think I saw one week Rocco brought in like a tray bake, and it must have been from Costco.
Oh yeah, he's not cooking, is he? He's lazy as. Throw him under the bus every bit I can.
Third gear.
You're getting this trash
Unlucky.
talk in early doors
Oh,
before he.
it's been going on since day one, since you got here.
So who's going to win this Army-Navy game?
Me.
You personally?
I'm going to beat Rocco.
You're just going to...
I think for the past 3 years, it's been like the Army have normally dominated. They've always had the upper hand of lads playing professional rugby. The Navy now is getting there. We've got boys playing in the Champ. We've got boys. We've got a few boys over in France. So we are getting there. And last year they beat us slightly. And the year before that, we dominated them 40 points. So
could be anybody's game.
Could be. Rocco's not going to make a difference.
You're going to plug the game as well?
You know what?
Plug the game?
What does that mean?
As in shout them out.
Shout out the game. When's it happening?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, mate?
Right down that right down that camera. He's got on shy now.
Here we go then.
In your best waltzing impression as well.
Wow. Shout out to the birthday girl. Army Navy, May 3rd. Be there or be square. Yes, I.
So,
oh my God.
What is that? Embarrassing.
Yeah, that'll be good. Shout out to the Army Navy game.
So,
That was a good transition.
He's wanting that first bit cut out.
Straight back
that's
to
good. No,
business.
that's good. Straight in.
Keep it in.
Yeah.
I've
that's
got
like a
more if you want
trailer.
it.
I think we'll leave it at that for now.
Are you
That
sure?
was
Jordan
really good.
wants a shout out.
Give him a shout out then. Look down the camera then.
Wow. Scream if you want to go faster. There you go, Jod. That's your shout out.
So what is it with this waltzer?
Dream job in it.
One of the the Spinball Wizard kind of
Spinning,
like fairground rides.
Unreal. White vest. Might put a shuffle on.
Lukewarm strongbow.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, I don't know how we've gone from shuffles to waltzers and tray bakes, but there we are. We were talking about Farmers Day.
Got to up the tempo.
It's nice, mate. It's just
Got to up the
nice and
tempo.
casual. But anyway, Ealing, 22nd of March, here
that down
on our
now.
Farmers Day. It's going to be pretty packed out here at Castle Park, which will be great for you lads for an atmosphere point of view. And as well, for the first time this season, there's a potential to do the double over a team.
Done the double over Caldy or the triple on Caldy.
Well, we've done the triple over Caldy, yeah. But
Triple
the radar
soon,
of that.
innit, Goldie?
I'm
on their changing room wall now. When we play them in a couple of weeks' time.
no quads.
Mr. Rushton.
Huh?
Mr. Rushton.
Mr. Rushton, yeah. Ex-Knight, Mr. Rushton. But how confident are we feeling for a double over them? I mean, considering as well, they're into the semi-finals of the Prem Cup now. I didn't watch the game personally, watched the highlights, but they looked quite strong. They played really well against Northampton.
I think they're one of the sort of sides that they're probably the easiest to get up for because they're the standard bearers and they've as long as I've been in this league, they've always been the big team. That when it comes round to Ealing week, it's never a case of motivation because normally boys are flying to get into them. Like I say, I think that's probably where maybe we struggled this season where we beat Ampthill. Obviously, the home performance against Nottingham weren't too great, but then we go away to Ealing, and really set a statement out. Like I say, I think they're the easiest side to get up for. And then maybe with this Prem Cup they run going on now, maybe that might take their eye off us. But we've got a 3-4 week block now just to prepare for Ealing. And we spoke about it earlier how, when we've had big build-ups to games, our training sessions have always been a little bit better. And I say, when Ealing come to town, it's always a good occasion. So,
Yeah, as I say, it'll be absolutely rammed here, I think. So it's going to be promised to be a really good game, and I'll try and do my best to encourage you lads from the gantry.
Get Josh on the mic.
Yeah, get me on the...
Wow. We've got Scottish away, London Scottish away. Last time out, it was a 12-0 loss to Harlequins. Weird game.
Mental score.
Mental score.
Whoa.
So low scoring.
What's
Nilled
going
at
on
home.
there?
I don't know.
Must have been GAs.
GAs probably know each other's calls.
it was a bit of a weird game though, where this first half especially, we're 7-0 down, but we have absolutely dominated that first half. We just couldn't score. And at that point, we were still obviously as a new side from the recruitment over the summer, we probably still trying to feel each other out. Like I say, the week before, we go and beat Ealing away because we're all bouncing for the game. We're a Scottish come to town and, predominantly Scottish. Well, as I say, as long as I've been in this league, Scottish have probably been, normally you'd say, one of the weaker sides, but they turned up stacked with Harlequins and, they were probably a team that maybe we took our eye off the ball with and we were still trying to feel each other out as a team. I kind of felt that if we had played Scottish sort of 10 weeks down the line and we were clinical, that it probably would have been a different outcome, but we just left so many points out there, and that was the frustrating thing looking back at that game.
Yeah, no, it was a frustrating game to watch, just because, like you say, it was just opportunities that were in the grasp and just weren't
Couldn't get
converted.
over it. It felt like we couldn't buy a try.
Yeah, but down there on their patch should be a good game. It'd be nice and nice weather as well. Hopefully, that sounds really old of me to say, but there you go. I'm going to appreciate the weather.
Nice weather.
Nice weather, exactly. And then start of April, Bedford will be coming here, who probably put the most convincing performance against us out of every team, I'd say. What was, I can't remember, it's got 38-17 or something.
Yeah,
You scored 2, didn't you?
Yeah, it felt like we were coming back into the game, didn't it? It was like, obviously, for people who know Bedford's ground, the slope on that ground does have a massive sort of impact on the game. And I think we had the chance to play downhill first half, and I think we went 12-0 down, which on that slope is massive, because then they get to come in at half time. I think they were in a winning position, but fair play to us. We come out the second half, and our first sort of 15-20 minutes, we grafted so hard, got ourselves back into the game where it was only like a 2 or 3 point difference. And then again, small margin goes against us, and Bedford pull away. I don't feel like the scoreline reflected that game. I do agree with you in the sense that they were probably the side that played the best against us, but I think again it was looking at ourselves in the mirror there that we probably helped them along the way of the win. Like I say, I definitely feel that if that moment, I think it was an interception, we don't give that away and maybe we go up the other end and score, it's fine to look back and say this now, if buts and maybes, but I think that was like, I'd say another performance that was full of graft, just lacked that clinical edge to go and put the final sword in Bedford, and they done it to us, and to be fair to them, they finished the game strong, and I think they're sitting second in the league. They're a good side. We will not be taking them lightly when they come to town.
No, absolutely. It's kind of been the story of the season, Hoppy, that, it's been decent performances put in by us, but then just kind of, it's been 1 point, 2 point, 3 point losses. Newcastle, Sale when they were here, Cov when we went away, 1 point. It's frustrating, I guess, for you guys.
You're asking me about half the games that I didn't play in.
Yeah. Do you want to show people your finger?
No, because it just looks like a normal finger now.
Oh.
Like, it just looks fine.
Go on, hold your hand up.
I'm not like a hand model.
But yeah, sorry. I'll ask Josh then.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point losses.
Yep. Tough. It was frustrating at times.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's like for us to be that close, and it feels like we have put ourselves in good positions, like Strongy says, and it's just like that little 1 or 2 percenters, or like a call slightly not going right, and for it to be decided in that one moment where, like you said, we've grafted so hard to get into that working position to even start with. It's frustrating when we come in on Monday and we've left that there, we've left that here, and like it shows that even if we just get one of those opportunities, we've gone and won the game, and it completely flips our season, our week, whatever, and we'll probably go into the next game more positive. But because it's not, it's like everything's under scrutiny in that sense. Yeah. So that's where we had like some tough conversations and really went at it. And I think now that we've been able to turn that screw a little bit more, we're seeing the right side of the results, or right performances.
Yeah, no, the performances have been a lot better and a lot more convincing. I think it's been really good. A bit of a change of topic now, coming away from us. Let's look at Six Nations.
great conversation.
Good
conversation.
Good.
I'm looking forward to what you're going to say here.
Oh.
Yeah, please.
Hey, I've got
A big rugby
so
fan
much.
you are.
Huge rugby fan.
Lot to add.
I've watched every game. Every single game.
Give us an insight. What are you thinking?
Hey?
Give us an insight. What are you
An
thinking?
insight.
Also, we need to get the 2 minutes before this where he said, "I've absolutely not watched any of them."
I just think it's been a spectacle of rugby across the board, Italy
Who's won?
are showing something that they haven't shown in previous years, That Netflix documentary, I know that was last year, but that was good.
There's another one out.
Yeah, but that's
No,
last
that
year.
was
Six
from
Nations.
last year.
Yeah,
so-
get back in your box then.
No, to be fair, I did write Italy still learning, because France absolutely pumped them last week in Rome.
They also hammered us, so
Who's us?
Wales.
Wales. No, Wales revamped really with Matt Sherratt. I mean, it was a bit mental from Gat not having Anscombe and Llewellyn in the squad in the first place, but
It's amazing what having players play in their position actually does for
Yeah.
the side. Ben Thomas at 10 just didn't work it in. For him to stick with that was
it's a bit mental.
probably looked like he had run his race, didn't it, to be honest. By the end, I don't
Yeah.
think he had the same sort of passion and the fight that he used to have. I think it was probably the right decision to let him go.
Do you think it was important to bring players back into the squad like Liam Williams and Faletau just for that bit of experience?
Yeah, I think the problem Welsh Rugby's had is we had all those great, that golden generation, and then they all just kind of left in one go, and we were left with young boys with no experience having to be thrown into the deep end. So just being able to call on people like, Faletau's still world class, still one of the best in the business. So just being able to bring people like that back in, bring Gareth Anscombe back in, they make such a difference for how you run the game and playing in the right areas. And to be fair, against Ireland, we played some nice stuff as well, which is a added bonus.
Yeah, because from about minute 70, it was looking like it could go either way, really.
Yeah, that red card rule was terrible. Red card's a red card. You can't be bringing Bandiaki off the bench early doors. You lose Gary Ringrose to a red, and then you bring Bandiaki on. Like,
So you're not a fan of the red
what
card?
a joke. We'd have won that game if that was the case, but
Are you familiar with the red card rules at the minute?
Yeah,
Yeah?
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts?
If the officials want it, they can have it.
Great insight. Cheers, Josh. Hoppy, England pretty much scraping by at the minute. They got
Whoa, hold on there.
what?
I won't be saying scraping by. We're very proud Englishmen over here.
They're
getting wins.
Mate, I'm very proud Englishman, but we got very fortunate against France. If they hadn't had so many handling errors, it would have been their game every day of the week.
But it didn't happen.
But that works on both sides as well. Like, we had opportunities where we've had handling errors.
Yeah, we lost. We only beat Scotland because Finn Russell's boot was not tied
and the
properly. or
referee
whatever.
made a terrible decision when moving that kick to spread. Let's be fair.
Tommy Freeman's try.
No, they score the try on the 15, or just outside the 15, and they move him over outside the 5.
Oh, I did see this.
Referee's
actually,
pulled Finn Russell over an extra 5-6 yards, and then he misses the kick by 2 yards.
Don't know what
Well,
you're on
Makes
about.
it harder kick.
Don't know what you're on about.
Dog eat dog world, innit?
Yeah, fair enough.
But
fair
no,
enough.
I'd say scraping. But we're playing a better brand of rugby than when we did with Eddie Jones. But I'd say we're scraping by the minute. I think Italy or Wales is going to punish us. I don't know which one. I really hope it's not the Welsh. But
Not really nice, but we need to win somewhere.
I know
It's been
but
a long time. It's been a long time.
But the thing is, it would be so
almost a
difficult.
year.
How many losses have you boys had now?
I think it's 14?
14?
Yeah, if not more.
I think
We
that's,
haven't won for
Is
like
it,
a year
isn't
and a
it
half.
one calendar year? Or
it's longer than that.
Oh, it's longer than that now, yeah.
But I saw a mental stat. It was Richie McCaw
Yeah, I
lost
seen that.
less
15,
games.
it's 15. I seen that,
15.
yeah, it's 15.
Richie McCaw lost less games in his time for New Zealand than Wales have in this stint.
It's not looking good, but it's not looking good.
That's crazy.
That
but
is tough.
I mean, when you're playing in one of the best Kiwi squads that's ever been, it's
That does make it a little
Mate,
bit,
it
that makes it a
does-
little bit easier.
it does
doesn't
make it a little easier. But no, France, as I say, their performance against Ireland was sorry, not Ireland, against
Have you been watching
Italy.
it, but
You sure you
Both
been
begin with an I.
Yeah.
My head's a bit frazzled, mate. It's fine. Yeah, France still looking unbelievable. I think they're still the best team in the world. Other people will say Ireland, but I just think the class that they've got all over the place is next to nothing. And they've still got quite a few big players missing. You know, Peno's not played every game. Olivon's been missing all tournament. I think he's a big loss, but a lot of talk about Prendergast at the minute. What are your thoughts on him?
Lions 10 for me. You got to start.
You give him the
You got
jersey?
to start. He is-
Really?
Wow.
The confidence that bloke has got. To be only, was he 21? You know, when they knock the ball on against Wales and he picks it up, throws it around the back, and then nails a drop goal just as a joke. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's only going to get better. Every single game he plays, he's just going to get better and better. And the swagger and the confidence he's got for that age is freakish.
What would your 9-10 combo be for the Lions, Josh?
Josh.
Johnny Wilkinson and Matt Dawson.
Dan Carter.
9. I don't know. Really.
Mike Phillips is playing well.
Yeah, Mike Phillips. Yeah. Or 6 foot of him.
What was the last international game you watched?
The last international game I watched,
What's rugby union, not rugby league?
England versus Argentina in the World Cup.
Really?
That's a man who plays a lot of Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's a man who plays a lot.
Lots of cooking shows.
Yeah, Rick Stein's more important.
Rick Stein is more important.
Six Nations, Rick Stein.
Rick Stein's going on
Rick Stein.
every time.
Every time, hands down winner.
Yeah, I'm just not a big sports fan. Like, no. I enjoy playing rugby, like, but I've never been interested really in watching sports. When
Happy
people,
to be here.
happy to be here. When people watch Super Bowl, I think, oh my god, get a life. Goes on for 5
Super
hours.
Bowl.
Thanks, bud. Thanks.
Do you watch the Super Bowl? Did you?
I only watch the Super Bowl, but I like it. I step at half time, watch it.
Well,
Good.
you know
Do I know
what?
what's going on? No.
No.
Not a clue.
My dad watched
It's a
it as
spectacle.
well.
It is a spectacle. I get that. Yeah, they've.
Halftime show, that's the only good thing in it. Kendrick
And
Lamar,
only go to bed for that part. That's a bit late then. We had training the next day as well, so
professional team.
And then finally Scotland in the Six Nations. I think they're missing Tuipulotu, aren't they? He's
Is that the centre boy?
nice, Josh.
Well done, mate.
Well,
His brother plays as well, doesn't he?
yeah. What's his brother called?
Moses, isn't it?
Is it Moses?
Moses to a lot, I think. Yeah.
Not related to that hooker who's playing at the minute, is it? He plays under 20s.
No,
No,
that's
that's
Cowan.
Kev-
Carwin's cousin, yeah. Or brother.
Kepa Tuipulotu. Yeah, he's looking quite good for the under 20s, to be fair. But no, yeah, I think Sione, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's big miss for Scotland. I think he's pretty much. A lot of people are still saying he's nailed on 12 for the Lions, but I think Scotland would be having a much better campaign had he been in the squad.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
We'll touch on Lions actually while we're here. Is there what's like a bit of an outside shout for you guys that someone who's got to be on the plane? Because you got your obvious like.
Courtney Laws.
I don't actually hate that.
Laws.
I was going to
Getting
say Faz.
Guy's world class.
I wouldn't say Faz. I'd say if you're taking 3 fly halves, Finn Russell, Prendergast.
Is Prendergast the Irish guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think you take Marcus Smith. I don't think you take Farrell. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, he's good for the dressing room and everything, but I don't know. I think you've got to build a new generation of players coming through for something like the Lions. I mean, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but is Faz on the plane for you?
He would be for me.
He would be.
He would be, yeah. Probably depends how much he plays for Racing in between now, because I think he's had a bit of a struggling start to the season with his injury and blah, blah, blah. But from what I've heard about him from boys last year, he seems to be
Still as good
the
as
man.
ever.
He's,
Yeah.
like I say, the boys would come from Saracens to Hampton last season would talk about him almost as if he was God. Like, he was the man, like, so.
I think a lot of people do forget about, the English ones that play abroad. Like, for a back row, Jack Willis, I think, has definitely got to be on the plane.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. Like, and like you say, Courtney Laws, I know he's playing Pro D2, but he's a bit of an outside shout that he's still just as good as he hasn't really lost his touch.
I think the only thing we're taking him is the back row is probably the most stacked for options that
But could you put him in the second row?
you could, but
I
again,
didn't.
it depends what the coaches want to do. But I just think that back row strength is,
Yeah.
there's going to be so many world class players who miss out on this trip.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a team.
Have you got a list down there?
I
He's got multiple.
Have you made
He's
a
made
Lions team?
I started trying to.
He's
pick
got a
one.
full squad.
Can you read them all out?
He's got coaches
What
as well.
for back row? These are all the options I came for. Tommy Reffel,
No,
all right.
Straight up, no.
Really?
I think he's one that you got to consider, but you probably rule him out
position
early
here,
doors.
he's a 7.
Position.
Did you play against each other or play with each other? No.
He's a way older than me, Tommy. A couple of years older. He's from Magento.
Reffel, Jack Morgan, the Curry twins, Jack Willis, Richie, Rory Darge, Matt Ferguson, O'Mahony.
No.
Not O'Mahony.
No.
No, I mean, again, wrote him down because he's been so consistent for years, but he's probably, again, one that you take off early doors. Caelan Doris,
Captain.
yeah. Jack Van der Fleer, personally for me, he doesn't go.
Why?
I think he's
I think
had a
there's
quiet
just-
campaign.
There's just better play. I think he looks good because of the players around him.
He
He's
was
good.
World Player of the Year 2 years ago, mind.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The best player in
Game-
the world.
games-
People lose their edge.
Game's changed.
He is class. He is class.
Just
Boy.
trying to wind from you.
That's not winding me up, Bobby. Don't worry about that.
Who are your 9 and 10?
Gibson, Park, and Russell for me.
Yeah.
Gibson Park.
I agree on
Second best
Gibson
9 in
Park,
the world.
yeah.
Probably the second best player in the world.
I'd say
Yeah.
best 9 in the world, but he's not the best player in the world, if you know what I mean. Like,
I get-
DuPont's
I get what you mean. Yeah.
incredible, but I don't think he's, other back rowers, Conan, Wainwright, Sam Underhill, I think is criminally underrated.
Oh, 100%.
And I regret writing this one down, but Cunningham South.
Conan's won. He's had a hell of a tournament.
Conan's
been class.
Why do you regret writing it down?
I think he's good. I like him as a player, but I think when you look at all the other names there, he just doesn't really get a look in. Like, there's just so much other class that is above him, and it's tough. But yeah, looking back on kind of the league now, and not just in England, but around the place. Strongly, we'll be looking for your insight here in a minute. But obviously,
Nice.
with the tier 2 that we play in at the minute. There's a bit of a revamp coming, so there's going to be a slight name change. There's going to be a rebranding of the league, a bit more, make it look a bit flashier, because they've done that with the Six Nations at the minute. So it's now M6N, which a lot of people made jokes about being M6 northbound, but which I thought was quite good.
You can go up with that, Josh, through.
Mental. M6 northbound.
Yeah, hopefully big things coming. New chairman for the league as well. So a lot of positives, and 2 new teams as well.
Who are the teams?
So it will be 1 promotion from Nat 1. At the minute, it's looking like Richmond or hopefully Rotherham.
Rotherham.
That's Gus's team.
Yes. That'll be good. Nice little northern derby, that.
Yeah.
Better than Richmond. They had their time.
But then you've got, I think it's like, if you have Richmond coming up, you've got Richmond and Scottish playing on the same ground every week. You've also got Ealing, who aren't far away. You've got Harlequins in that area. Like, there's just a lot.
Rotherham, get them up. Short away day. It's not even away day.
That'd
It's
be
great.
nice.
He's nodding his head.
nice.
Gus is nodding his head. He wants that to happen. And then the other one will be
Wasps.
Wasp, Worcester, or Irish. Although London Irish are pining to get into the URC.
But I thought the RFU shut that down.
I don't know the latest with it. Give us an update.
Hey, don't worry. I'm all about the gossip. Rugby
Go on.
gossip.
What's the gossip then?
I overheard that it got shut down. The RFU aren't going to let them join the URC.
It'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? I don't know all the ins and
Yeah.
outs, but it'd be a bit strange. A London-based club playing in the URC, like just for logistically and.
It's because they've got a big name as well. It's like, it's all 3 of them. A lot of people have said, well, they should all start at the bottom, like London Welsh did. Like, they've had to build their way back up. And
That's just wrong.
what, starting at the bottom?
That's just tit for tat, isn't it? Well, we have to do it, so you have to do it. It's like
Yeah.
the game at the minute in the Championship and Premiership isn't in a good place at all. So something needs to change
TV.
massively. Yeah,
I mean, we were talking the other day that it's rugby is everywhere, but in a bad way that it's on every different channel. You've got Six Nations on BBC or ITV. You don't know which one you're clicking onto when you go to watch it. You've got Prem on the TNT. You've got the French League playing on Premier. You've got
URC on Premier.
it's
get the old dodgy stick. You can watch whatever.
go on. What are you going to say?
Yeah, I agree. I think just for the casual rugby fan who may be trying to get into the sport or anything along those sort of lines, like if rugby had one place and one home where you could just go on and rugby was on there, I think that'd be huge for growing the game. Because like what Josh said, something's got to change. Rugby can't keep going the way it's going, season in, season out, because look at where it's getting us at the minute. Welsh rugby's probably struggling.
I was just gonna
English
say-
rugby's struggling.
There's 2 Scottish teams.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could name another Scottish team, really.
They're thriving.
What?
The jocks loving it, aren't they?
Yeah.
No issues up there.
No, you don't really hear much about what's going on in Scottish rugby, but no, it's not in the best position, that's for sure. And like you say, something definitely needs to change in order to get it up, because you can't just have England kind of playing their games in Six Nations and warm up games and autumn internationals just to save it, to salvage it. I mean, you look at, we were saying outside before, the French leagues are getting it dead on.
There's a business plan right there. I don't know why we just don't adopt it.
But you look at it, them and the Irish. The French and Irish, the two best nations in this tournament, and they've got their structure.
Absolutely.
Whatever you think of it,
Perfect.
they're producing players season in, season out. Like, you've got to look at Leinster's academy, and all their internationals go away, and they've still probably got 2 or 3 teams that are good enough to be in the top 4 of the URC, if not the best team there. So, Irish rugby and French rugby, whether we need to adapt our own model or maybe look at theirs, who knows? But they seem to have it.
France is a bit mad. You got 3 leagues over there who are all full-time professional. Like,
Money's the key thing, and
Yeah.
it all comes down to money. And
They have a lot. I know with the sponsorship's a big thing as well there, but their top board does pump it down into the lower leagues, and that's what kind of needs to happen. You need to invest in the lower so that it
even
rises
Championship,
up.
second division of English rugby, you've got full-time teams, part-time teams, which is mental.
Yeah.
Like,
What you probably got 15 professional clubs in England, and what 30, 40 plus in France.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But what was I going to say? URC, what are your thoughts on the URC? Because I'm personally not an advocate of it. One is part of the French way for the Welsh, in that you've got Ospreys, you've got Scarlets, you've got Cardiff, who are everyone's nailed in to play in the league, and it doesn't seem like it seems a bit of an elitist league to me.
no jeopardy to it.
good away days.
It's an interesting point to take. I haven't particularly got any views on it, though.
No, I won't be able to comment on it. I've not really watched too much of the URC.
No, I don't. I'm not a religious watcher, but the quality of rugby is great.
I think for those countries it works, because underneath that, like, whereas English rugby and French rugby are probably different, where you could have sides going up and down, like the standard difference between the regions and the next level down, the same for Scotland, the standard difference between Glasgow and Edinburgh and the next standard down would be so big that you'd never be able to bridge the gap between them, one getting relegated and then the next team coming in to take their place. Like, it would just be too big, and there's nowhere near enough. Speaking from knowledge of Wales, like, there's not enough money in the game below the top that they'd be able to survive in a bigger league. So you kind of have to take a different stance on it on that front, where sides need to stay in the league and take that sort of route,
Yeah, but I mean, would you say that the Welsh are still getting their opportunities? Because you said that your hometown are playing in the Principality in a couple of weeks, aren't they?
Say it's probably a little bit different. And that's my local club, the community game in Wales. My local rugby club, Tondy RFC, is thriving back home. They're probably the focal hub for Bridgend in terms of rugby. We've got mini and juniors from 7 all the way to the first team. I think we even put a third team out this season, which for a community game is massive. We've got a women's team, and then and the first time in my lifetime and the first time in a long time to see Tondy go to the Principality for a club that doesn't pay any money. Championship West played against Bedwas on the weekend, were probably paying fairly hefty for that level. And for Tondy to turn them over just sort of shows like we're saying, the strength in depth and being able to produce players. Like, Tondy are probably 2 or 3 players thick in every position. Maybe we're taking out, like, the Valley clubs are probably struggling, but Tondy are thriving in that environment. And I say, to see them go to the Principality be huge for the community, and it should be a good day out for them.
Yeah. That's all we've got for episode 4 of the Doncast. I've been your host, Dominic Leach, and I'm very thankful to have been joined by Josh Williams, Adam Hopkinson and Morgan Strong. Thank you very much, lads. Josh, do you want to sign us out in your typical waltz away?
Nah, I've overdone it.
One more.
Just one more. One more.
Into that
For
camera.
Jordan.
Well, see you next time, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and comment, and stronger following on Instagram.